Namaste, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, interested other parties, cross watchers, all of the above. Welcome. This is your biweekly reading for the period of today, April 1st through April 15th. Capricorn, yours is the last reading that I'm doing today. And I meant to put these up a lot earlier, but I ran into a situation with Virgo's reading, and then it just went really over, and I had to do a bunch of processing to it with Movie Maker and everything. Took a lot of time, and so yours is delayed. So I'm extending my apologies because I just wanted to put them all up at the same time, so they're all late as a result of that. Happy to be here though. All right, so we're going to get pretty much right into it. I do want to give you the same message prior to the reading that I've been giving to all the other signs that I've done, which is all the earth signs and the sign of Aries as well for their birthday. And that is that, we have a national crisis, a global crisis even. I don't want your reading to be about that, but of course some of that may come up and I won't be able to do anything about that if it comes up. We'll just discuss those things. But, I'm trying to, with my viewers, stop any fear mongering and all of that kind of stuff, and we're going to get through this. I've been talking about this sort of thing for a long time, and I've talked about it happening this year 5 years ago on this channel. So my original viewers, some of you may be watching, know this, and so there's nothing to fear. We expected this, and we're going to get through it. And I just wanted to give you a coronavirus piece of prophecy from the scriptures that may in fact have been relating to this. We don't know, but this is what it's Isaiah 26:20 through 21. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So basically, it means we're going to be inside temporarily. Let me read this one line again so that it's clear. Enter thou into thy chambers. That's retire to your room, to your home. Shut thy doors about thee. Lock yourself in. Right? Stay inside. Hide thyself as if it were for a little moment. A little moment. This is saying that it's temporary. Just until the indignation be overpassed. Until this time is beyond us. So, I hope that you guys will find some strength in that. Those of you who've been experiencing any fear, and anybody who's actually experienced a virus or know somebody close that has, all of our support and prayers are with you. On that note, let's get into your reading. So you have an overall energy from the Rider-Waite deck of the Seven of Wands in reverse. And the Seven of Wands in reverse can point out anxiety. So some of you may be, fearing what's going on. When it shows up, it tells us to point to, or try to, point to, or look for the root of this anxiety. I would just presume for most, it likely is what's going on around the world. But some of you may have some more direct and immediate situations with what you're dealing that are making you anxious. Try to figure out what is at the root of those issues and what you can do to resolve them or to make some sort of difference where things are better for you. Sometimes anxiety can be relieved by our own taking of some sort of action. We do something and then it makes everything feel better. But if you need support, there's no reason to be ashamed of that either. Don't be too proud to reach out to people who can help you. And I didn't know that this card was immediately behind it. But this one indicates that some of you may be struggling. Some of you may feel like, you just can't carry all this weight. You've got too much on your plate. You've been assigned too much to do. You're anxious. You just, and somebody needs to share this weight with you, or you need to at least be able to lay down your burden. You need some solace, some time to relax or something like that. So, this can be about balance, or again, the need to share the burden with other people, or at least one other person, a partner of some sort, which may bring us to the overall energy that you have from these other two decks, a combination of my Animal Tarot and my Angel Tarot, which is the Two of Fire or the Two of Wands. To those of you who consider yourselves, divine beings or twin flames, you may be aware that the Two of Fire or Wands is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot. So it can speak to that sort of spiritual partnership, but it can be about any and every type of partnership: familial, friendship, business, all of these things, and leaning on someone else, or sharing, again, the burden. Things being 50-50, equality and equity in situations and balance. You come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. Right behind this is Major Arcana card 3, the Empress. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. You have a lot of the same cards already as the sign of Taurus. So some of you may be dealing with another earth sign, maybe specifically a Taurus, or maybe some of you have, your double earth. You are Capricorn and Taurus yourself. Like similarly, I'm almost all Gemini and Aquarius, two air signs. Behind this is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So some of you may be feeling particularly alone, like you don't have anyone with whom to share these burdens. So I suggest, if you're struggling like that you do take some time to think about, who might you be counting out that is actually there for you, wants to be there for you. People sometimes don't know how or whether they should reach out to us. And sometimes we have this, sort of feeling like, well, they should have checked on me, whatever. But you just never know sometimes, like, how to approach a person, especially if you, have some sort of sense of the fact that they may be struggling with anxiety or depression. Some people want you to try to comfort them, and some people want to be left alone, to, be isolated. So it can be difficult and may require your asking for help. If you can let go of any ego or pride that would prevent you from doing that. Seven of Wands can also be about indecision in reverse like this. Some sort of indecision, because when it's upright, it's like you've made a decision. You're guided to stand your ground, not let anybody push you around, change your mind for you. You only change your mind, if you want to. You otherwise follow your gut and your heart and all that. But when it's in reverse like this, it can be like you're not really necessarily sure what to do. With regard to your work, you may be at some sort of loss, and maybe you literally lost your job, perhaps, with what's going on. And you're not sure what to do with your work situation, whether you're employed or not. If there's somebody that you can talk to and that you trust with regard to this, it can be a good idea, like reaching out to somebody, because there's answers out there, is what the cards mean and what they're trying to say. Also, you may need to get unique about your career choices or your work or how you go about doing your job, and flexible. For some of us, this has been like figuring out how to transition to working from home. It can be a brand new experience for some of us if you're not yet comfortable with it, but you're having to do it. There's even YouTube videos for stuff like this. If you don't have anybody you feel you can ask for actual help. But if you need a new job, you might, with the cards that are coming up for you, or this card in particular, Seven of Wands in reverse, you may need to get creative about that too, and maybe think outside the box and start doing, filling a need that's somewhere. Maybe going into some sort of partnership with someone else, and there will be abundant. Maybe that's where the Taurus comes in, or perhaps a Libra or a Gemini, all of which ruled by Venus, which entered Gemini this week. Other than that, this is also about fertility, and these cards together, fertility. So in romantic partnerships, if you're wanting to get pregnant, it could be literal or metaphoric, the fertility. So if you've been wanting to get pregnant, it's a really good time to go ahead and work on that. You are extremely fertile. As a matter of fact, I think Taurus had 2 Empress cards to pop up. And other cards that indicated that they were particularly fertile too. So if any of those combinations, if you guys are dating and stuff, you may find yourself pregnant and, unexpectedly, perhaps. If you don't want that to happen, you may want to, do what adults do to ward that sort of thing off, because it's very possible. But also this can be, again, metaphoric fertility and just new ideas and creative ways to help to bring about abundance into your own life. In terms of love, the Seven of Wands can indicate that one or both of you is indecisive about something, and that usually has to do with some sort of fear with regard to maybe moving forward, and maybe you're afraid to move forward because of what's going on around the world or with your job, or something. And so you're like, I'm afraid of the future. I don't know what to do. And, you're going to have to talk to your partner, and you're going to have to figure out what you guys really want, what you really want, what they really want. And if you want, the similar things, enable that that will enable you to do those things together, or if that's not the case anymore, maybe. If you're single and looking, you have to open yourself up to love, and maybe in unique ways, unique possibilities, maybe online dating or talking to somebody on social media, and you connect that way, Skyping, FaceTime, rather than actually, physically getting together right now. And we talked about the Two of Wands, talked about the card behind that. We sort of did it together. All right, so let's get into your reading. I'm going to start with a spread from this Rider-Waite deck. We'll put this one here, actually. All right, your overall energy, we'll put it there. And then I can turn these over. I don't want to change the direction. Like if something's up in reverse, I want it to be in reverse. If it's upright, I want it to be upright. All right, so the card that most directly is representing you this next 2 weeks is the Tower in reverse. You guys are the first, I guess the only, since you're the last sign for which I'm reading right now, sign to get the Tower in reverse. Okay, but the Tower in reverse is nowhere near as, I hate to use the word bad, because for me the Tower is not even necessarily bad. It can go like either way. Nowhere near as intense. The energy is nowhere near as impactful upon you in a direct sense when it's in reverse. Okay, so let's say it that way. But there is still some sort of possibility that people or situations that you've counted on, to be there for you. So maybe like a job, maybe like, a romantic partner or some other kind of partner. And when this card shows up, it's possible that they may no longer be there in quite that way. It's important to not try to not overthink this. That doesn't have to mean that there's going to be some sort of catastrophic change in your life, some sort of, breakup, or, did you get fired or whatever. So it's important for you to think positively, and also think like in the now and in the present, and remain mindful of the reality that you have, and the reality that is possible for you, in the near future and in the future in general. All the resources you need and how to get through life. Specifically with regard to work, this card and this placement, is really all about you in all aspects. So with work, again, there can be arguments and misunderstandings, maybe even layoffs, job loss. I don't know. It could be so many different things that you just feel like kind of like a mini rug is pulled out from under you, not the rug, or maybe from under somebody close to you. So there could be something that goes on at your job. Maybe it doesn't affect you directly, but it affects people. So, a friend got laid off, but you didn't, or somebody else's hours got reduced, or something like that could happen. But this too shall pass for you. In terms of love, again, it's not as intense and impactful as it is for a relationship when it's upright, but it can still be some sort of indication that your relationship needs work. It needs communication if it's going to survive. If it's going to make it. Not unlike what, the card with which we had already begun. The Seven of Wands also indicates, there's something that's off, and you need to try to get to the root of it. For surrounding energy, maybe like the people close to you, close friends, family members, co-workers and such. Oh, very nice. Okay, the sun. This may be a Sagittarius, or maybe somebody who was ill, or who may take ill, or think themselves ill during this period, requiring some sort of x-rays or radiation, or something, but outcome very positive. For other things where like something was hidden from you, some information was in the dark, doesn't mean that anybody maliciously kept something from you. Sometimes the universe simply doesn't reveal everything that we would like to know to us. This could be about clarity. This could be about something being brought to light, some information or something coming out, something being revealed. If it has to do with your love life, funny enough, the sun, while if you take it in terms of the tarot in general, just the sun, like at face value, yes, it makes everything better and brighter. But if you look at it in terms of what the sun means specific to love and relationship, it can actually mean that you guys need some space from each other, which is kind of funny, right? Like you wouldn't expect that to necessarily be from the sun. Maybe because in your house, because the tower can represent an actual structure like a home, or, or building, you guys have been like stuck together. So it's like you're getting like stir crazy in too close of quarters, and you guys need, to back off. Maybe that's why you're beginning to bicker and argue, because you've just been stuck together too much. Try to find a neutral corner, like a space to find, where you can each, get some time to yourself to relax if you're unable to separate. For others, maybe this is trying to speak to the fact that you are separate. You are spaced out, and that is affecting you, You have been separated from some sort of partner, and that is affecting you. But, work should be going good, or even if you're looking for a new job, the sun can indicate something's right around the corner for you. In terms of love, if you're in a committed relationship, it should be getting even more intense, or, but at the same time, you got to be careful again because you can feel like you need space, and you got to be really careful about getting clingy with the sun. It's like a thin line, thin line between love and hate. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is with the sun. It can mean fabulous things, or it can mean like, leave me the hell alone for a minute, In terms of finances, things getting brighter. So maybe if you had suffered some sort of mini tower in your life with regard to your finances, and maybe that's why you're anxious and you're fearful of the future, what's coming at me. The sun showing up means like, don't worry about it. Things are definitely going to be improving. But the card that represents your work and finances more specifically is this next placement, and it is the moon in reverse. Interesting. Right after the sun like that. Also interesting, and you guys, like in your actual spread, so far you've got only major arcana cards. And I think you're the first sign to be sort of Trump tight like that too. All right, so the moon in reverse can mean, unfortunately, the things are not so clear. Maybe this is the area in which you're going to get clarity. Things are not so clear, and you could be wondering how you're doing at work, if they like your performance, if they're happy with you, maybe you're just unsure. This card guides you very, very strongly not to go off on based on presumptions, not to assume anything, to ask for help or ask for clarity if you must have it. If you can wait, it's even better to wait. Just let this energy pass and let things be revealed more organically in a natural way. It's about illusion, so the reality may not be any remotely what you think. You could be envisioning tower, whether upright or in reverse, and that's not the case at all. It's all in your head. So just be very careful. If you don't have to say anything about the stuff that's running through your head, then don't. Try to let it pass. Other than that, the moon in reverse can be about us not paying close enough attention to our intuition too, like we're sort of ignoring it when it's really there for us. And it could also be connected to a Pisces that may be particularly significant in your life, or other water sign. It really could be any of them. Like in the tarot, it just most directly represents the sign of Pisces. But this card in particular, this deck, I always see the Scorpio, because the lobster coming out of the water reminds me of the sign of Scorpio. And then, of course, the actual moon, Earth's moon, rules the sign of Cancer. Similarly with the sun, in the tarot, it represents the sign of Sagittarius, but the actual sun, Earth's star, the sun, rules the sign of Leo. So those, other fire signs could be involved or at play as well. Lastly, for your love and relationship, wow, you guys got 4 major arcana cards. It is major arcana card 5, the Hierophant in reverse. That's actually pretty good. I think I made in the placement of love. I know everybody wants to see the Hierophant, and I think they like it up front, upright, because it can be about, commitments and stuff like that, including up to and including even, 3D marriage. But it's also about tradition. And so I think I may like sometimes the Hierophant in reverse a little better, because it can be about breaking with tradition and doing things your way, being with who you want, and maybe off the beaten path, or maybe you're considered to be sort of a weirdo, and people don't understand you, and they try to put you into a box and get you with one particular type, and you're going with a totally different thing too. I like breaking with tradition. If you're single and you're thinking about trying something new or different, a different type, or looking for them in a different place, like maybe you've never gone online, like I said, to look for a date or whatever, and you're thinking outside the box, I say go for it. If you're in a committed relationship, you could be getting tired of the same old as well, which, of course, isn't as necessarily as exciting and wonderful as it can be when one is single. You should, again, like I said, I like breaking with tradition. And if that's you, and if that's what you feel like you're yearning to do, and your soul's yearning to do, I say honor that, I say go for it. But at the same time, again, if you're in a committed relationship, you have to think about your partner as well, and the relationship. And that relationship, again, may be with a Taurus, because the Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus. And again, right behind this 2 of fire or wands, we have major arcana card, the Empress, which represents the planet Venus and the sign of Taurus, in addition to Libra and Gemini. So, as an earth sign in particular, yourself and the Taurians, you guys tend to be, pretty predictable, not in a negative sense, because you're so practical and grounded. So, you do what's expected, like the right thing. And so this sort of breaking with tradition can maybe be difficult for you, especially if you're dealing with another earth sign. It could be difficult for them. So just be careful about how, if you are in a relationship with somebody else, how hard you push, because too far, too hard, too fast and too furious, could possibly push away the person, like scare them away. And you don't want to lose your relationship, just because feel like you're falling into a rut. You're just trying to spice it up. All right, let's get you another spread, or at least some advice cards like I did the other signs. I haven't been, I intended completely to do 2 spreads when I started these readings, but then they all went to like a half hour. And like I said, the Virgo one went to like 40 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes. I should probably be on the safe side and just give you guys advice like I did the others. But let me at least cut these cards and, give you some fresh energy and let you see what wants to repeat, if anything. And, like reconfirm any particular messages. Like I said, the Taurus, they got 2 or 3 Empress cards. If I remember, I'm pretty sure it was them. Okay, this brings us to, very nice, Major Arcana card Renewal. Card number 20. So you guys got another 2. Like you started with an overall energy of 2 with the 2 of Wands. And now you got another 2 with Renewal, which is actually Judgment in the traditional tarot. One of my favorite cards. It's all about abundance that is earned, that's on its way to you because you deserve it. Either your hard work on this plane, your physical labors on this plane are paying off. So you're getting, again, a promotion at the job, or you're getting those extra hours or some sort of recognition, praise or something. Or if it's not that, it can be, you know, like the universe, God is who's promoting you, who's raising you up, who's honoring you. So maybe your vibration is increasing. And when that happens, you know, there's a saying one of the laws of nature, as above, so below. If you get a raise from the universe, it's going to manifest itself down here too. So whether by karma or by physical labor, you've earned whatever it is you're getting. In terms of relationships, when you see Judgment show up, it can be about second time around, second chances. So maybe a relationship that didn't work out the first time, you're meeting that person again, or you're trying again. Maybe you didn't get to have a relationship the first time you met, or your paths crossed, but now you're meeting again. The universe has put you guys back in touch and there's a new opportunity. It can be second chances in basically any area of your life. So maybe you applied for a job before and they never called you, but now they are, seemingly out of the blue, like those sort of things. Also, with relationships that have been maybe struggling, it can be about coming to a crossroad and deciding, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere? Maybe some of us were going to part ways. Maybe some of us were going to go all the way. Now, funny enough, when I picked that up, it's made to see the right behind it is your energy. It is the Prince of Autumn, so the Knight of Pentacles, who is trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. This is, again, your energy as well as that of the other earth signs, Taurus and Virgo, or someone likened to these traits or attributes. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you get that plan in place, then you can take immediate action steps and get as much accomplished as possible. For me, like, pages bring us news, and these knights, they go into action, So also right behind that, the 10 of Autumn. So this is about you feeling comfortable, secure. This is your anxiety having been relieved. It might be slow progress, but it's like slow and steady progress. And that's what you guys are all about. Like, sort of slow and steady wins the race. Think, the tortoise versus the hare. And, surprisingly, the tortoise won because they were methodical. And that's how earth signs are. Contentment comes from knowing that your family's finances are secure and that your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions. Interesting, with the Hierophant in reverse having just come up. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So this is about your worries having dissipated and you guys feeling more comfortable that things are going to be okay. Maybe having seen something come in. So this would have been, I guess, the masculine's advice card, but it has fallen off, so I'll just share it with everybody. It's the Queen of Winter, the Queen of Swords. She is experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It is time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. The Queen of Swords, if she's an actual person in your life, is an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And for your advice, masculine first. It is Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. That may be who the Queen of Swords is. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. especially in this deck, you can see it's very love oriented. It's about just genuine relationship, genuine unconditional love connections. However, in general, the Lovers can also be about a heart versus head decision that you're needing to make. And you should, again, go with your intuition, your gut, what your soul is telling you to do, not necessarily what is traditional or accepted, or traditionally accepted, like based on societal norms or something. Speaking of Gemini, you've got for the feminine, Major Arcana card 1, Magician. Now you're getting a lot of the cards that Virgo's got. The Magician represents the planet Mercury, and the planet Mercury rules both the sign of Virgo and Gemini, but the Magician card pretty much directly relates to the sign of Gemini. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. And here is a wonderful new beginning for the masculine here. It presents itself. It may come as a surprise. I think I said something about something may come out of unexpectedly a surprise. But you'll still want to leap into action because knights take action. And this is you here. And to passionately pursue every possibility. So don't overlook any possibilities that come your way. Now, I didn't realize I had pulled 3 cards for the feminine, only 2 for the masculine. So the last 2 are very interesting. The 5 of Spring. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. This can be about conflict, yes, but in a more positive sense for me, can also be about the planet Mars, which entered the sign of Aquarius this week. And planet Mars is the planet of action and aggression. And the sign of Aquarius is the sign of humanitarianism and freedom. So maybe that's why some of you are feeling like you got ants in your pants. Like even when it comes to your relationships, you're feeling kind of bored, and maybe you want your freedom, you maybe want your space, sun showing up. This can also be about competition at work. So maybe I said like something interesting, maybe going on at work or funky. And it can be like competition, somebody trying to maybe take credit for your work or to get a slot that you want or something like that. What is meant for you, you will have. But this card just guides you to keep your head up. And, if you're not in the, how they select with the lotto, if you have to be in it to win it. If you're not in the game and in the fight, then you're not going to, be the successor, the victor, obviously. So don't be afraid to compete, feminine, especially with the Magician also here joining this. You have the ability to manifest whatever it is you want. So don't be afraid to be in the game doing that. And the last card is the 8 of Summer. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You'll be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you are in control. And this too can be metaphoric or literal. Some of you may be physically wanting to move from one place to another. And for others of you, this is, you thinking about a new career choice or option, possibility, a new relationship or different relationship dynamic, switching it up, changing up your game or the way you do things, breaking with tradition. And the cards guide you to do just that if that's what you want to do. Hope you guys have enjoyed your biweekly. I will be back 2 weeks, the 15th or the 16th of April, God willing, as they say. Namaste.